2 Kings 9. I read from the Institute for Scripture Research, the ISR, because it takes a direct translation from Hebrew to English, Greek to English, and Aramaic to English. Yah is short for Yahweh, YahWeh, same thing. Yod-He, Vav-He. Yah is the Elohim of the heavens and the earth, the first and the last and the only. Yah is a very jealous El. He is so jealous that he doesn't even want the names of idols or mighty ones to come to our lips. And the letter J is about 600 years old. Well, Yehoshua, the son of Elohim, died on a stake for the sins of all of humanity more than 2,000 years ago. I believe names are a really big thing. Should respect the name. A direct translation from Hebrew to English, Yehoshua is Joshua. Annals is Chronicles. I'm pretty sure sovereigns are kings. Yeah. Judges is rulers. 2 Kings 9. And Elisha the prophet called one of the sons of the prophets and said to him, Gird your loins and take this flask of oil in your hand and go to Ramoth Gilead, Ramoth Gilead, Gil''A'D with a line underneath of it. And you shall go there and look there for Yehu, Y-E with a half a check mark, H-U, son of Yehoshaphat, Yehoshaphat, son of Nimshi, Nimshi, and go in and make him rise up from among his brothers, and take him to an inner room, and take the flask of oil, and pour it on his head, and say, Thus said Yahweh, I have anointed you sovereign over Israel. Then you shall open the door and flee, and do not wait. So the young man, the prophet, went to Ramoth Gilead, and came in and saw the commanders of the army sitting, and he said, I have a message for you, O commander. And Yehu said, For which one of us? And he said, For you, commander. And he rose up and went into the house, and he poured the oil on his head, and said to him, Thus said Yahweh, Elohim of Israel, I have anointed you sovereign over the people of Yahweh, over Israel, and you shall strike the house of Ahab your master, and I shall avenge the blood of my servants the prophets, and the blood of all the servants of Yahweh at the hand of Isabel, Izeb with a line underneath of it, El, and all the house of Ahab shall perish, and I shall cut off from Ahab all the males in Israel, both those shut up and those left at large, and I shall give up the house of Ahab like the house of Jeroboam, son of Nebat, and like the house of Baasha, son of Ahiah, A-H with a dot, I-Y-A-H, and the dogs are going to eat Isabel in the portion of Yisrael, Y-I-Z-R-E apostrophe E with a half a check mark L, with none to bury her. Then he opened the door and fled, and Yehu came out to the servants of his master, and one said to him, Is there peace? Why did this madman come to you? And he said to them, You know the man and his talk. And they said, A lie. Reveal it to us now. So he said, Thus and thus he spoke to me, saying, Thus said Yahweh, I have anointed you sovereign over Israel. And they hurried, and each one took his garment and put it under him on the top of the steps. And they blew with the shofar, saying, Yehu reigns. Thus Yehu, son of Yehoshaphat, son of Nimshi, conspired against Joram. Now Joram had been guarding Ramoth Gilead, he and all Israel, against Hazael, sovereign of Aram. But sovereign Jehoram had returned to Israel to recover from the wounds with which the Arameans had stricken him when he fought with Hazael, sovereign of Aram. YahWeh now said, if this is your desire, let no one leave or escape from the city to go and make it known to Israel. Israel's with a E, not an A. And YahWeh rode in a chariot and went to Israel with an E. For Joram was laid up there, and Ahazai, sovereign of Yehuda, had come down to see Joram, and a watchman stood on the tower in Yisrael with an E, and he saw the company of YahWeh as he came and said, I see a company of men. And Jehoram said, get a horseman and send him to meet them, and let them say, is there peace? And the horseman went to meet him and said, thus said the sovereign, is there peace? And YahWeh said, what have you to do with peace? Turn around and follow me. And the watchman spoke, saying, the messenger went to them, but is not coming back. Then he sent out a second horseman, who came to them and said, thus said the sovereign, is there peace? And YahWeh answered, what have you to do with peace? Turn around and follow me. And the watchman spoke, saying, he went up to them and is not coming back. And the driving is like the driving of YahWeh, son of Nimshi, for he drives madly. Then Jehoram said, hitch up, and his chariot was hitched up. And Jehoram, sovereign of Israel, and YahWeh, sovereign of Yehuda, went out, each in his chariot, and they went out to meet YahWeh, and met him in the portion of Naboth, Nab, with a line underneath of it, Oth, the Israelite, with an E. And it came to be, when Jehoram saw YahWeh, that he said, is there peace, YahWeh? And he answered, what peace, as long as the whorings of your mother Isabel and her witchcraft are so many? Thereupon Jehoram turned his hands around and fled, and said to Ahaziah, treachery, O Yahaziah. And YahWeh drew his bow and struck Jehoram between his arms, and the arrow came out of his heart, and he sank down in his chariot. And YahWeh said to Bidkar, Bid, with a line underneath of it, Qar, his officer, take him up and throw him into the portion of the field of Naboth, the Yisraelite, with an E. Remember how you and I were riding together behind Ahab his father, and YahWeh lifted up his pronouncement against him. Have I not seen the blood of Naboth and the blood of his sons last night, declares YahWeh, and I shall repay you in this portion, declares YahWeh. And now take up, throw him on the portion according to the word of YahWeh. And Ahaziah, sovereign of Yehuda, saw this and fled by the way of Beth Hagan. Beth is B-E with a half a check mark, Y-T-H, and Hagan is H-A-G-G-A-N. And YahWeh pursued him and said, strike him too in the chariot at the ascent of Gur, G-U-R, which is by Yibleam, Y-I-B with a line underneath of it, L-E'-A-M, and he fled to Megiddo and died there. Megiddo is M-E-G with a line on top of it, I-D-D-O. Then his servants conveyed him in the chariot to Jerusalem and buried him at his burial site with his fathers in the city of David. And in the 11th year of Joram, son of Ahab, Ahaziah, Ahaziah began to reign over Yehuda, and Jehu came to Israel with an E, and Isabel heard of it, and she put paint on her face and adorned her head and looked through a window. And as Jehu came to the gate, she said, "Is it peace?" Zimri, Zimri, killer of your master. And he lifted up his face to the window and said, "Who is with me?" "Who?" And 3 eunuchs looked down to him, and he said, "Throw her down." And they threw her down, and some of her blood splattered on the wall and on the horses, and he trampled her underfoot. Isabel got trampled underfoot by a horse until she was like mush. And he went in and he ate and drank and said, "Go now, see, this is the cursed one, and bury her, for she was a sovereign's daughter." So they went to bury her, but all they found of her was the skull and the feet and the palms of the hands, because she was smushed. This guy just stomped her out, did exactly what she deserved. And they came back and informed him, and he said, "This is the word of YahWeh which he spoke by his servants Eliyahu the Tishbite, saying, in the portion of Israel with an E, dogs are going to eat the flesh of Isabel, and the corpse of Isabel shall be as dung on the surface of the field in the portion of Israel, so that they do not say, 'This is Isabel.'" They weren't even able to identify her. That's how badly she got stomped underfoot. If you don't know about Isabel, listen to the other videos, or better yet, read it for yourself. Reading for yourself is always the better option. But for people who don't want to read it, or they're too lazy to read it, they can always just listen to it, because I'm reading it. But Isabel is a witch and a whore. She got exactly what she deserved.